Welcome to episode 1 of Cryptos and Conspiracies. I'm your host, Jay Verkamp, and today's episode is called The Who, What, Why, because I want to give you a little background on who I am and what we're going to be covering in future episodes. As far as profession goes, I'm a professional sound mixer, production sound mixer, drone operator, 3D tour creator, and freelance writer living in South America. And as you probably already guessed, we're going to be covering everything crypto and conspiracy related in this project. Now, those two things may seem like totally different subjects, but we're going to see a lot of overlap as we delve into future episodes. Well, as far as what we're going to be covering in future episodes, let's come back to that. I'm going to give you a little bit more background on who I am. I grew up in a little small town in Arizona called Flagstaff, which is a beautiful little town nestled in the ponderosa pine trees at the bottom of a mountain in northern Arizona. I had a pretty ideal growing up. It was all about the forest, pretty much like the forest we're in right now. You could basically, as a kid, you could run around, you could go sledding, biking, skiing, building forts, you name it. We had a great time growing up. And as far as our little town goes, it really is one of the most beautiful places in the world to live. Outside, you see it during the day, you see the most amazing view of the mountains. At night, the most beautiful stars you've ever seen. Partly because there's an observatory on top of Mars Hill called Lowell Observatory, where the then planet Pluto was discovered. I guess now it's been demoted to non-planet status, but it was discovered there at Lowell Observatory, and it's called Mars Hill, or we called it colloquially Mars Hill because Percival Lowell used to, I think he found canals, what he thought were canals on Mars with his giant telescope up there. Anyways, it was a very ideal experience. Maybe let's go down this way. It was a pretty ideal experience growing up. After I graduated, I went to the U of A down in Tucson, Arizona, which is actually another brilliant, beautiful, beautiful place to live. Lots more mountains, but this time in the desert. Jump. And so I graduated magna cum laude from the University of Arizona down there, doing creative writing and humanities and art history, having a pretty wonderful time of it. And I stayed on in Arizona, played in a lot of bands, kind of space rock, punk rock bands, indie rock sort of stuff for many years. And then, luckily I got to travel the country and play in different shows in different cities every night for a little bit. And then after that chapter of my life closed, I went to the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences in Phoenix, Arizona, where I kind of fell in love with what I do now, which is sound, audio production. And then from there, after moving around from city to city, I ended up my final place of residence where I loved, which was Hollywood, California, in Los Angeles. Before landing in Hollywood, California, I'd moved all around to different cities in the United States looking for a job as an audio engineer. That was my big dream. After the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences, I wanted to be an audio guy. So that's what I did. In 2002, I ended up in Hollywood, California, and from there started working my way up as a sound mixer, production sound mixer. Eventually, I was able to work my way up to be sound supervisor on shows like Top Gear, Car Matchmaker, Breaking Homicide, just to name a few. But I mention all this not to be bragging about past accomplishments, but more to lend credibility to my professional career so that people don't think I've spent the last 20 years sitting in my mother's basement watching conspiracy videos and geeking out on cryptocurrencies. Not that that's a bad thing. So why would a production sound mixer living in Los Angeles Want to start a project dealing with cryptocurrencies and conspiracies, you might ask. And that's a good question. That's why we're here today. And the honest answer is, quite honestly, I've been since 2001, my two biggest passions have been, my biggest passion has been conspiracies, and starting around 2012, cryptocurrencies came into play as well. Those two things have been the two things that I've spent all my time on when I'm not, outside of family and friends and my career. I spend all my time researching and digging into all kinds of things crypto and conspiracy related. Even when I'm building a sound package for a new show, I'm constantly listening to different podcasts, different YouTube channels, historical documents, different events that happened in the past, or I'll be reading books at night before bed. It's just what I like. Those are the things that I'm into, and it made sense for me when considering what type of project to make to bring my two big passions and use my production experience as well. So here we are. As a production sound mixer, there's all kinds of times, there's lots of gaps in between jobs. So what I would do is, the first thing all of us do is look for our next job. But you can't do that all day. There's a limited amount of time you can spend looking for production sound jobs. So a lot of my time, I ended up delving into conspiracy theories, looking into conspiracy theories, and then later by 2012, cryptocurrencies came in and started looking into cryptocurrencies as well. Those were my two big passions. That's what I really loved spending all my free time listening to, reading, and I became a voracious reader on the subject as well. In future episodes of Cryptos and Conspiracies, I want to take a look at almost every type of topic. There is everything gets touched by conspiracies. You can look into conspiracies concerning music, art, health and beauty, fitness. Politics and government aside, there are conspiracies on just about anything. Sports. Talk about a whole huge topic right there, just the sports area. But really, what this whole thing is meant to be is to be about thought-provoking entertainment. I'm not here to change anybody's minds. I'm not here to change the world. I'm just here to try and create a big, fun project and to explore people's worldview, to explore our paradigm. The hope is that people will have fun with this information, and if any of the topics that we cover resonate with people, they'll move on and do some research of their own. That's all. As far as cryptocurrencies are concerned, I've been interested in them and investing in them since 2012. I lost my first crypto investment in the 2013 Mt. Gox heist. And while that was super hard and unfortunate, it does lend a little bit of credibility that I've been in the crypto space for a while, researching and investing in the space. As much as most crypto aficionados hate to admit it, the crypto, fintech, and blockchain worlds are brimming with conspiracies, and we'll be checking into many of them on future episodes. We're also going to look at the mainstream crypto news from the standpoint of what does the man on the street know about cryptos, as opposed to the banking and financial institutions that are rapidly building up the infrastructure and investing in the crypto, blockchain, and fintech worlds. So while one episode may cover the top sports conspiracies of all time, the next day we might be looking at new developments in a specific cryptocurrency altcoin that has been kept hush-hush from mainstream news outlets. I hope to create programs that stimulate people's minds, but are also enjoyable to watch or listen to. I'm also going to do my best to get outside and film different episodes in exotic and interesting environments. But I also hope to release each episode as a podcast as well. So I'll be trying to make everything as audio friendly as possible, so each episode will be visually interesting for viewers and also provocative for podcast listeners. Of course, time and weather permitting, a good deal of episodes will more than likely be screen share type of productions as well. We'll have to see how things develop and what the Cryptos and Conspiracy audience prefers. Please show your support for this program by liking, sharing, and subscribing. And if you'd like to help us keep the lights on, you could hire me as your next production sound mixer, drone operator, or 3D tour creator or writer. Or you can contact us about advertising or just give us a simple donation, and we'll have all the links down below. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining me on episode 1 of Cryptos and Conspiracies. I hope you'll be joining us on future episodes. We'll see you next time.